Ay, 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 ay. I think I managed to work out, guys, one of my issues with recording and why sometimes I just don't. I genuinely think it's got something to do with the fact that I try and do it in the evening. It's not that late. It's only like 6:40, but I'm already tired. It doesn't help that everything is in my bedroom, so this is where I sleep, and I'm also in here working. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, we're here for Beyond the Wall. Potentially one of the last episodes of Beyond the Wall for the series of The Walking Dead. Obviously, that was the finale we watched, but there's some extra stuff, so I don't know how filling that extra stuff's going to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how substantial it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to have any sort of beef to it. Like, I think it might be like pretty standard stuff, filler, but not quite filler, but closer to it, you know, like in animes where you get fillers and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's crack into these questions. With Maggie back in the fold, how do I think she'll react to Negan? This is something that I actually spoke about toward the end of the last episode, and that was my worry about Negan and Maggie and whether that's going to be unresolved. Obviously, she chose to spare his life. She could have killed him. She chose not to. That doesn't necessarily mean that she would want to live with him, but obviously then again there's still this huge sort of unknown about where Maggie's been anyway. Has she found a new home? Is she going to return for good? Is Negan going to find a new home? Is he going to return for good? Like, these are all questions we haven't really had a chance to answer yet. But how do I think she'll react? I don't think she's going to be very happy. I do think that a lot is going to have happened in her life to the point where she probably isn't going to care as much as we think, but I do believe there will be a little bit of an itch that she can't scratch, you know, like having him around. Like, it's not something she had on her bingo card. You know what? To be honest, it's not something most of us had on our bingo card, having him back and literally a part of the group, borderline the family. To some people, probably. So I think what's probably going to happen is it's going to hit us a bit. We're going to be asking all these questions about Maggie and how she feels and what she thinks. I think it's not going to be as bad as maybe some of us are thinking, but I do think it's going to cause a little bit of an issue. But I think genuinely the questions moving forward are going to be so much bigger than Negan. I think that's yesterday's news, do you know what I mean? I think everyone in our group, Maggie, everyone has been through so much now where that whole arc with him is like do you see what it's like old news. It's not even worth the effort thinking about it unless it becomes a necessity to, aka he somehow resorts back to that, or I don't know, I'm very, very unlikely. But do you guys see where I'm coming from? It's been so long. Like, is it really necessary news now? It's been like almost a decade, the better part of a decade, right? And obviously there's still so many more important questions to be asking beyond Negan. Like, just think about the headache it'll cause with a lot of the people that have sort of warmed up to him or have made him promises or have this, have that. The headache that would cause, it just seems ridiculous to even consider to me. The question is probably, is he going to stay? Yeah, I don't think she's going to be thrilled, but I think she's going to have bigger things on her plate. There's a reason she came back, by the way. I kept saying to you guys, why haven't we heard from her? Where has she been? Blah, 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 blah. Like, there's still questions surrounding why is she back now? Is it because she finally had the ability to, or maybe she needs us? I don't know. I had this whole talk with you guys during the episode of whether how I felt about Maggie, and a very, very interesting feeling popped up, and that was almost like frustration with her. One of the first feelings was frustration or anger or being a bit upset, considering she's been gone for so long. That's not what I expected. But yeah, I think the reaction will be not great, but then I swear, like, she'll hear the stories about how he protected Judith, or he saved Daryl, or all these different things, or how he killed Alpha, and I think it will soften the blow a bit. Like, she'll probably start to understand him more. And I said this way back, guys, when we had him in prison, I kind of wanted everyone to start looking at him as a human and trying to understand him as a human being rather than a monster. And my dream was that Rick would do that. Like, I wish I could see a conversation between Negan and Rick where they're not seeing each other as monsters, fighting each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, the same goes with Maggie and all of that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far that's come. Is the Whisperer tactic, dressing up as the dead, a reliable method that our group should incorporate? I don't know, you know, like, sure, like, we managed to walk through herds and all that stuff, but is it just me that feels like it's a little bit risky, the idea of dressing up like our enemy so soon after the capitulation of our enemy. The last thing I want is someone going out dressed as a whisperer only to be accidentally shanked. Obviously, in our eyes, it feels done, right? So I don't know how our perception on that changes. Like, look, at the end of the day, if you need to put on a mask and don some of those walker guts to get from A to B, you're going to do it. Obviously, precautions have to be taken because of what happened to Gabriel last time, but I don't see why not. Like, if we need to do it, then we need to do it. Oh, you guys just reminded me of something. When I first met the Whisperers, my initial reaction was to call them the Skins. And when I was watching the most recent episode, I realised that's what Negan calls them Skins, eh? It's kind of like walkers, how everyone has different names for them. When I heard him say it, I was like, oh, I've been like giving myself shit all this time for calling them Skins because they've literally got the other name, the Whisperers. But now I don't feel so bad. Considering Hilltop was ran by Maggie before she left, how do you think she'll feel once she learns of its fate? I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow. Like, clearly the last letter we sent her was when Jesus died. It's a long time ago. So much more has happened since then. Which also adds a little bit to my other theory as well, is did we stop believing Maggie would return? Did we kind of get to the point where we're like, well, she's not coming back, we've got to do this by ourselves kind of thing? Like, part of me thinks so. That's also, let me just say, why I don't think we got the immediate reunion with Daryl, Carol, and all of them, because I think I've got this weird theory that it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows the first interaction with everybody. There's going to be questions. Like, people are confused and upset, and admittedly they'll be happy to see her. There's a lot of questions that they need answered in order for them to keep moving forward. And if there is a genuine answer, problem solved. Like I said, frustration can be solved just like that. If there's a reason genuine, then we stop having this conversation. How do I think she'll feel about learning about all that? Well, 2 of the people who were in the running to lead Hilltop are now dead. And a lot more than that too. We're also forgetting, guys. Sorry, I've really got to keep backtracking, but Maggie didn't meet the Whisperers, eh? Maggie left... Sorry, it's really, really like hard for me to remember exactly when she left. It feels like it's been ages. Think about how many people Alpha has toppled. Think about the trauma people have been through. You know, Sadiq. She won't know about Sadiq. There's just so much. So much has happened. Like, that's got to really hurt. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you were conflicted about coming back anyway, if there was something else going on. Maybe she, like I said, she would have had no idea. If she wasn't checking those letters, she had no idea what was going on to us. But it's a gamble she probably knew she was taking, right? So imagine the weight that bears. That's not good. It's not going to be good. I think she will probably consider herself not worthy of Hilltop, but there will be the big arc of why she has been chosen for a reason, or was chosen for a reason, and people will want her back. I don't know. If she does want to lead this place forward, she's got a lot of work to do to earn the trust of everyone back, because people for a long time felt worried or leaderless, or... Yeah, like, think about the people of Hilltop. Everything they went through, and then kind of just being adopted by Michonne. Like, if you think about it, before Maggie left as well, a lot of Hilltop everything was very separate. Everything was almost self-governed. Yeah, I don't think she'll take it well. Do I think all the Whisperers are gone, or do we truly get them all? I think highly unlikely for all the Skins to be gone. Very unlikely, because we saw lots of little groups separating and moving out, and yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think a lot of the Skins would have followed Beta, period. No, I don't think they're all gone, but do I think the threat's the same? No. Do I think that we're going to get someone else try and run them like Beta did or Alpha did? No. I think that is yesterday's news, and very similarly to when the Sanctuary and Negan was toppled, adopting the people that are willing to contribute to the future and share that vision. I think it'll be the same thing. I think it'll sort of carry that similar trend. I saw this one from Joey. Yes, I noticed who he was. I think I even made a comment in one of the more recent... Oh, I don't know. But the scene when Negan sort of says, do you realise who that was? And Daryl sort of said, yeah, an asshole or something like that. That's why I laughed, because I was like, oh, obviously Negan's working out who he was, right? Did Carol truly find redemption in this episode, or just another temporary sense of purpose? Is her decision to sacrifice herself for the group genuine, or more about the self-punishment? I can't remember if you're one of the people that really actively dislikes Carol. I know there are people that just dislike her. Like, I never felt like she needed to prove herself. Like, gosh almighty, she's been around for so long now, and she has done so many things for this group. And yeah, there's been times when things haven't gone the right way, or there's been a heavy toll, or risks have been taken, but I just genuinely feel like I understand that Carol can sometimes be viewed as a bit of a liability, because she a lot of the bad stuff happened very back to back, but I don't have any bad feeling towards her. Like, bloody hell, she lost 2 kids. One was super maliciously, and then she was manipulated very, very intentionally and maliciously by Alpha. Like, I only feel sorrow and the desire to help her come back from it. And I don't think that her sacrificing herself has got anything to do with self-punishment. You see a situation turning that sour, that south, you're going to want to protect your group, your people. And let me just say this as well. It wasn't just about the group, okay? It wasn't just about the group. It was about Lydia. I think the minute Carol heard Lydia sort of say, I need to be the one to take them over, I need to be the one to hoard them, to lead them, she would have known in that moment that Lydia did not intend on getting out of that. I see that as self-sacrifice and the protecting of Lydia. Like that's the only way I viewed it. No, I didn't think it was like punishment, or like I don't deserve to live, or like all this kind of stuff. Like, it's tough because I never really felt like she needed to find redemption. Shit happened and it was nasty, and people were unhappy and people almost died and all that. I get it, okay? I get it. Other characters have made very big decisions which have cost people their lives before. Just like I know that a lot of people, because it's Carol, they get very, very sort of frustrated by her. You know what? I want to know what you guys think. All the people that do really dislike Carol, how do you view that scene? Do you like purely view it that she was just trying to take herself off the board for punishment? You don't think that she was thinking about her family at all? Like, I just can't see that, eh? I can see what you mean by saying, like, is she redeemed? She was willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. And I guess you can sort of compare it to Negan's sacrifice when he sort of called Beta out. Like, in that same situation, I don't think he intended to come out of that alive. If you compare that to Carol, maybe I will look at that situation, sort of think, okay, yeah, I can see what you mean by it's like redeeming. It does relieve some of the frustration a little bit, but I don't ever want any character to put themselves in that position. I don't really know how to answer that. For sure, I think it's genuine. The same reason I think that when she realized the gravity of her actions, I think that was a genuine response of guilt. But it is quite funny though, because a lot of the people that hate Carol, like, you can ask them the same question, like, do you hate Negan? Do you hate Rick? Do you like, there are so many characters you could name, and like maybe their response isn't the same. I don't know what it is about Carol, but people, like, she really rubs some people the wrong way. But not me. I just don't feel it. I know that I've probably just overextended that question. Like, that's not what you were asking. Purely because it comes up so much, I feel like sometimes I need to voice my opinion about her in particular, and her decisions and all that kind of stuff. And you just sort of raised the perfect question of, does she even need to redeem herself? I don't think so. But I see what you mean. Like, it's a redeeming decision. It's a redeeming act. Also, I think people are forgetting as well, guys, that Alpha's dead. Carol, she got what she wanted, and she even said that. I swear in the episode she didn't make it. She didn't really feel any better. Nothing's changed. I think you're forgetting as well. Like, she could have killed Alpha and then just gapped it. If she purely just wanted revenge for her son, and she didn't care about the outcome for anybody else, she would have just left at that moment. But no, she stays, she fights, and she was going to make that final act play. Yeah, there was probably a part of her that thought that she was the one that needed to do it because she generated a bit of a sticky situation, but like, she didn't need to be there. Like, I don't see that. I see her as a very strong character that at times has lost her way, as have all of our characters. But I know who she is. I believe in her and I trust her, and I love Carol as a character. And there was no doubt in my mind that she'd be there for this. There was no doubt in my mind. I'm just rambling, aren't I? I like her, man. I love Carol. And I think that sacrifice that she was going to make, she would have done it no matter what part of the season she was in. And the second part of your question, which I'll probably be able to answer a bit closer to your actual question, how did Lydia saving Carol reflect on her personal growth and separation from Alpha's legacy? I think them saving each other sort of, because that's what they did, right? They saved each other in that moment. It's not just Lydia saving Carol. Carol saved Lydia too. Carol was willing to get Lydia out the way in order for her to make that final play for her. I view it as, I will not let you suffer anymore at the hands of your mother. I think it will develop them both immensely. They keep saying something like, I don't need another mother, but like, let's be honest. Carol is a mother figure to so many characters and has been for a long time. Like I said just before, she got lost along the way somewhere. She hasn't had the most proud moments at times, but I don't think anyone can argue that she was literally at a point the mother of the group. Genuinely, I think that their relationship will end up being like mother and daughter, even though that's not what they want. I think that naturally they found each other, naturally they eventually ended up saving each other, and I think now more than ever they understand each other. They both understand each other. And I think very importantly as well, as I think people understand Carol. That's another thing. I think a lot of people, even in the group, like if you look at the way it's written, Carol sort of butts heads with a lot of people. A lot of people were quite abrasive to her, and I think because they don't understand her, or they haven't been around long enough to experience or to see the trauma she's been through. Not saying that like everyone has their traumas, right? But I think we can all argue that Carol probably started off as one of the weaker characters. And I'm talking mentally, physically, everything. One of those characters that probably wouldn't have survived without a group, and she's developed into a very strong one. So people probably look at Carol now and they sort of think, like, they don't understand. Like, they see her as, even Negan said, like, word has it you're a certified badass. I think there's this perception of her that she's no longer who she was, but I think that it's a journey, it's a lifetime journey. You don't go through everything you do pre-apocalypse and then just flip a switch and now you're some walker assassin void of mistake or do you know what I mean? Like, just not everyone's gonna be that strong of a character. Like, let's look at Rick Grimes, right? Probably the perfect example in my eyes of a character that started strong. His arc's probably starting strong, dipping and then going upward, whereas Carol is more of a starting low, heading up, having a dip and then continuing up. Like, everyone's trajectory is very different. And if you take a character like Rick seriously had he had insane breakdowns, and Brud is probably one of the strongest characters that started the show. Imagine someone that didn't have that level of person from the start. They've had to learn this the hard way and become who they are, and then everyone sort of sees them as this perception of what they think they are, right? But that's like 10% of their waking life. I don't know, like, I feel like I'm rambling right now, but I think people will start understanding her more and seeing her for more than just, I don't know, I don't even know, like, how to describe it. It is kind of cool, though, when you look at it, that, like, Alpha probably hated Carol more than anyone, yet it's her daughter that saves her. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sometimes I like getting super, like, skeptical and start trying to think of, like, hidden meanings behind things. We didn't really get to see Alpha pre-apocalypse. Like, we kind of got her as things were hitting. We saw, like, a little bit of a snapback before her big snap, but we didn't really get to see her pre-apocalypse. I don't really know what she was like, but maybe Carol sort of sees all the good in her mother Lydia, all the good in her mother in Carol. This is why I love Beyond the Walls, though, because we can just talk about this and it be fine. Who is the Lego Ninjago person? That's what I refer to them as, because that's what they look like. Is it somebody we know or someone new? I don't know, because one of the telling things is Maggie having to say, it's alright, they're with me. So clearly it's someone new, or it's someone we know that, for whatever reason, isn't clocking anything. There's got to be a reason they're wearing a mask, though, right? Like disfigurement, or I don't know, Michael Myers. My only theory is Morgan or someone new. And the other question was Stormtroopers, as I refer to them as. Should we fear them? Are they a threat? You know what? My first thought was, why on earth do they dress like that? It's so random for a society that is seriously broken down, that doesn't really have any sort of government, the coordination to be dressed up like that at the perfect time and to rock up and Stormtrooper cosplay. Like, it's weird, eh? It's so weird. Like, when I was watching, I was like, this doesn't feel like The Walking Dead. Unless the person that Eugene's been talking to had been planning this. This is all like a little trap, or to rope people in and then dispatch the forces. I don't know. I don't know why they dress like that anyway, unless they're trying to hide their identities. It's just weird. If they wanted us dead, they could have killed us already. So I think the only thing we could fear from them is if they're trying to use us. But I'm not jumping to conclusion to be like, I don't trust them fully, because this may very well just be their method of staying alive. Do you see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not going to judge it. Like, it is pretty rando, but like, each to their own. I don't think there's any more actual questions. Do I have anything else I need to say? I feel like a lot of this we spoke about Carol. Good, because I feel like I've got to get it off my chest every couple of episodes. But no, let's just briefly talk about the episode, the ending. I'm going to be honest with you guys, that is not how I expected it to end. Like, in terms of casualties, significantly lower. In terms of like existential threat, it didn't feel that bad once we got going. Like, once we had a method outward and we saw things sort of unfolding, like I didn't feel that worried. Remember when in like season 7, like when Negan was sort of first sort of kicking in, season 6, season 7, I can't remember what season it was. That's scary. That was scary. Watching those episodes, the whole finales just felt terrifying. This didn't really captivate me in that way. And I'm not trying to diss the episode. I think once you sort of watch so much, there's only so many things they can do to terrify you. And like, after the Negan thing, I thought there's no way they could do that again. Then they had Alpha's spikes. That was pretty intense. The only thing I think that's like gonna get me that crazy now is like seeing Rick's return and all that stuff. And I don't know, like a lot of people sort of said that the show sort of dragged on a bit, which is what I'm worried about. I haven't really felt that yet, but watching that finale was the first time that I sort of went, wow, that's the end of an era. That's the end of a segment. Why do I not feel like I just watched a finale? That's genuinely how I felt. There were some fantastic parts about the episode, by the way. Don't get me wrong. And to be honest with you, seeing Maggie again hit me in a way I didn't expect it either. Like, I think that was the big thing that they were trying to show, is Maggie coming back. As I said to you guys, my first feeling was frustration. I was like, where have you been? Obviously, it was cool seeing her again, but it was like, I almost forgot that she was a part of this group. Isn't that sad? Isn't that kind of crazy? And it's not even that much. Like, if you look at it as like from an outsider point of view, and the time she's been gone and what we've had to do, it's not like we've been through 4 different villains and 6 seasons or anything like that. It's nothing mental. I almost like had accepted that we weren't going to see her again, even though I knew that at some point they'd bring her back. Like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Does anyone else resonate with that, like, at all? Maybe it's got something to do with the way she left as well. If remember correctly, guys, the groups weren't in the best place. They weren't exactly working as a whole. Nothing was really smooth sailing, and maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe it's because the last time I saw her, the group, everything wasn't fine and dandy anyway, so it's just like continuation of it. I don't know, and then just thinking about that, my biggest worry was like, how am I going to feel when Rick comes back? But that's just my honest feelings, guys. I don't know the exact mechanics behind what I'm thinking right now, but all I can guarantee you and say to you is that it didn't hit me the way I thought it would, and I'm still really wanting some clarity about where she's been and why. I need the frustration to be eased, because right now I feel like upset, you know what I mean? Like happy that she's back, but then upset that we've had to go through all of this and now we've got to explain it to her like it was a part of history. Once upon a time we were inseparable as a group, right? There was never any explanation as to where she went, why she went, any of it. And I feel like maybe there's a little bit of selfishness in me thinking like betrayal, and it's not betrayal, but like maybe there's a part of inside me that's wrongfully selfish. But this is all stuff that I want resolved, because it's left me with a bunch of questions now. That, I guess, that is the one thing I will say that this season has done, and it has left me with a lot of questions. So it hasn't just gone, oh, okay, you go into the next season feeling like you don't really have anything you need to get off your chest, because I do. And I think there's lots of things we all need to ask. So that's probably the best thing this season's done, but nothing really unfolded the way I thought. But anyway, guys, I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Obviously, going forward, figuring out where Rick is, rebuilding all of this. We've got a few, obviously, the filler episodes to bide us time. Maybe the reunion wasn't that crazy because we never really got we only got the reunion between her and a few characters. Oh, the Judith scene was really good. But yeah, that's all I've got to say, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. We have spoken for 45 minutes. What a banging beyond the wall. It's probably going to edit about 30 minutes, I imagine. Hopefully, we watch the next episode. I was going to do it tonight, but I'm just so tired, Tomorrow, I'll probably watch it during the day, and I need to really start thinking of methods in order for me to be more focused more often, because it is getting way more tough, and I don't know why. But yeah, that's all from me. As ever, this has been Wood Dan. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.